right now. All right. So I'd like to welcome everyone to the September 8th edition of Healthy Living Live. We're coming to you from literally all over the country, and we're here to talk about a program that's literally changed all of our lives. My name is Dr. Larry Rogina. I am a retired OBGYN physician and surgeon. Now I get to work from home and from wherever I happen to be, helping individuals become awakened to the possibility that they can be better. And we are Optavia. And what we present as an option for people is to be able to develop a lifelong transformation in your life by the institution of one new healthy habit at a time. So that's where we start today. And we're going to move forward and talk about a couple things. David, next. And as you can see, when I was functioning as an OBGYN in practice, the guy on the left was me, and I took care of everybody but me. And as a result, I got up to 315 pounds, 2 blood pressure meds, 2 cholesterol meds, prediabetes, sleep apnea, and just life was not good. I had had some heart issues back then, and I just wasn't in the best of shape. Many of my patients noticed that I was struggling at times. I was short of breath tying my shoes, and scrubs are very forgiving. And I was just wearing larger and larger scrubs, and I was referred to as the big teddy bear. I had some goals though, and it was to be around for my wife, my daughters. And in addition to that, I wanted to do something I was passionate about, which was skydive. So lo and behold, I became a skydiver and a skydiving instructor. Let's keep moving here. Next slide. We are now presenting an option for anyone who's ready to change to develop what we call optimal health. And it's different from everybody. Most people think optimal health is being at a healthy weight. And we believe the healthy body piece of it does imply that you need a healthy weight. You got to be eating right. You got to be sleeping appropriately. You have to be physically active and moving. You got to have time to chill out and relax. And you know what? You got to be in a position that's safe and healthy at home, work, and play. Well, I guess my skydiving isn't necessarily the safest, but still, we want you to be safe. But beyond our physical body, we want to have a healthy mind. And that's great relationships, being able to function most efficiently at work, and truly being fulfilled in our life. We all need to grow spiritually as well, in any respect that is for you. Getting involved in your community, being able to pay back to the community is kind of cool. And the ability to pursue your hobbies and have fun. For me, it was skydiving. Finances are an issue. And when I look at America, everybody's struggling. And we ask people, where are you with regard to finances? And do you have abundance in your life? Do you have freedom? Are you able to manage the money that you have coming in and going out? Do you have savings for the future? And do you have the resources to create memories and experiences for people that matter? Well, it's nice to be able to give back to the community. And now I can do that. And I just love it. Next slide. So moving forward, how are we doing with our body? Well, most of the world's population are living in countries where people are dying more from being overweight and obesity-related disease than hunger and being underweight. And since the pandemic here in the United States and across the world, 42% of adults in the United States have reported gaining an average of 29 pounds. And the obesity rate in children ages 2 to 19 has literally just doubled. It's a travesty. Next. So how are we doing with our healthy mind? Well, people that are overweight have a 55% higher risk of developing depression symptoms. And when I look at the dollars spent here in the United States, $225 billion on mental health medications with a 34%, 1/3 increase since the pandemic. And 1 in 4 Americans are suffering from some kind of mental disorder, which results in over 270 million prescriptions filled for just antidepressants. And when I look at how people are dealing with their depression and the mental health issues, they're literally not able to even work at times. And there's 200 billion in earnings that are lost, which literally is higher than the treatment costs out there for depression. So how are we doing with finances? Well, about 1/3 of adults who have partners report that money is their major source of conflict. And 72% of American workers just say that their top source of stress is their financial issues. Well, as unemployment skyrockets, and I know they tell us there's more jobs now, but people don't seem to have workers. And I don't know what's going on with this, but businesses are closing. Household savings have shrunk with the pandemic we had. And we're just not in the best place financially, and many Americans have literally no savings to fall back on. Next slide. So who are we? We are Optavia. We are a company that kind of started as the brainchild of Dr. Wayne Scott Anderson, who you see up there. And Dr. Anderson was Cleveland Clinic's first board-certified intensive care medicine specialist, and he ran their heart program. But he realized, all he was doing was redefining the day of death for a lot of people. And literally, these people were not in a position where they were going to be healthy unless something changed. So instead of just saving their life, he decided to go into prevention. So he created a lifestyle program, and he went to the Medifast company and he partnered with them. And since then, our organization, our Optavia organization, has now touched over 2 million lives. And Fortune magazine in 2020 has labeled us as the second fastest growing company in the world. So we're here to stay, and we're here to partner with our clients and with physicians across the globe to help their patients really create transformation in their life. Next slide. So I'd like to introduce somebody who's just near and dear to my heart, who has an amazing story, as this impacted not only Rosa, but her entire family. Rosa, welcome to the call.
Hello. Well, my story started on October 2020, while I was on the recovery process after a ruptured brain aneurysm, but was looking for a simple but structured program that could help me help my daughter reach one of her goals, that was improve her health so she could be part of the middle school volleyball team. Even though my main motivation to start program was to encourage and support my family, as I started changing the way I was fueling my body and I was incorporating healthier habits to my days, I started noticing that it was helping me on areas that I didn't think I need help on. My energy levels start going up, my confidence went up, and following the teenage version of the program, I lost 25 pounds that I have kept off for over a year now. But I still consider my biggest victory the smile on my daughter's face when she was sharing with me that she made the volleyball team and how she was so much energy to keep up with all the other girls while running 5 laps around the volleyball court. I started coaching because I was going to help just one friend that is not bilingual. She reached out, she was surprised by the transformation of my family, because not only did I lose 25 pounds, but my daughter lost 35 pounds and my husband lost 55 pounds. But once I started helping her, it just makes sense because I want everyone to know what is possible. I consider that having a coach during my journey Okay, so I consider that having a coach during my journey was key factor to my success because I have an accountability buddy that has been by my side since day one, first guiding me to a healthy weight, and now he continues to guide me on my journey to optimal health. And he's not a food cop or a fitness expert, but he has been there with encouraging words and helping me understand that it is not a race and it is not going to be perfect sometimes. But as long as I keep focused on my goals and my whys, I will keep making choices that will get me closer each time to them. Thank you very much for joining us. And please reach out to the person that invited you tonight or the person that shared the recording of the event with you. And let's explore which of the available programs would be the best fit to help you reach your goals.
Rosa, thank you so much for sharing from your heart. Really love hearing your story and the impact it had on your family. I'd like to introduce somebody who's got an amazing transformation. This is Tom Sachs. Tom, would you be able to share your story with us, please?
Sure, I'd be happy to. It's funny, right before I got ready to join this meeting, I happened to think that October 1st of last year, I met Denise, my coach, and and I'm going to go into how I met Denise and how I met Optavia. And I started on Optavia at 295 pounds. I then, within about a 6-month period of time, lost to 80 pounds, and actually it was a little bit less than that. But and I keep thinking of some of the things the first two people have said. Once you're on this program, your life truly changes once you have the desire to change. And I believe without desire, things don't work as nice as you want. But I'm going to tell you, when you find out that the shots you used to get in your knee that I used to get that cost $1,500 2 times a year out of my pocket, that I no longer do those, that I can now cycle 100 miles at a time on a road bike, and that's not an electric bike, by the way. That my entire attitude has changed tremendously. You really want to try, the people that aren't on this program, to look at Optavia and give it a try and see what we're all talking about, because we're all real people here, people that have really done the program. I do want to mention that before I met Denise, I probably had tried, and I can't think of a diet that is not nationally known that I didn't try, and did the old yo-yo thing. I'm very proud to say, after losing the weight on the Optavia program, I've kept it off through the first year, and I'm very confident I'll continue to, only because I have a different way that I look at things now. It's not all so much about the weight. It's about a healthy lifestyle and a different belief system, and things just couldn't be better. Even my marriage is pretty good. So, and that's because my wife's standing in the background. So,
Well,
but
Tom,
I'd highly recommend it. And just it's such an easy program to do. It's a step-by-step program, and with a coach, which is so necessary. You not only get a coach, but you meet a friend, and that person can help you walk through that program on a daily basis.
well, thank you so much, Tom, for sharing. Really want to appreciate that. If you're on this call and you're not speaking, if you could please put your microphone on mute, that would be great. And David, next slide. I'd like to introduce somebody who kind of has been around the block with Optavia, and Tom mentioned about thinking differently. And Kimberly Muller is probably the epitome of needing to think differently. Kimberly, could you please share your story with us? And I'm just excited to have you here tonight.
Of course, I'll be happy to. Good evening, everyone, and welcome. I'm Kimberly Muller, and I'm from New Orleans, where we don't just eat to live, we live to eat. And that's where I was. A few years ago, found myself just gaining weight, feeling sluggish, and I needed to lose some weight. So I tried some weight loss programs. I came across Optavia, and I initially had incredible success. I did it. I ate the fuelings. I took the books and put them on a shelf, and I lost weight, but that's where it stopped, because I stopped eating the fuelings. I completely stopped, and I developed a set of really bad habits, which led me not only to gaining all my weight back, but then some. But this time around, my feet hurt, my knees hurt. It was an effort to get upstairs, tie my shoes, and the doctors told me I was the O word, obese. And I saw everybody. That was really discouraging, but I saw everybody on Facebook and places living the Optavia way of life, and I wasn't accomplishing anything. And the reason why, I think it was because I just tried it on my own, and I was only using the fuelings as a diet. And recently my phone rang. It was my coach, Whitney Kell, and she just called to say hello. And I told her my story, embarrassingly, and she didn't judge me. She just said, hey, let's do this. She offered to partner with me, provided me information and support as I needed, plugged me in. And that was the start of my second journey with Optavia. She told me, she challenged me, dive into that life book, get those things off the shelf and start looking at them. And I did. I understood that while eating the fuelings on the program, I was only eating the fuelings and I wasn't utilizing the other components. The life book, which is a great workbook, it challenges you. And in reading that life book, I realized I wasn't addressing my way of thinking. I had to make some changes. And that long-term success is created through the development of small habit changes daily, which I needed, and that's long-term. So today I'm plugged in. And for me, failure was an opportunity to learn. And I took that failure and I built on it. And the second time around, I'm a stronger, better version of me. I'm getting back to the old me and recreating a new me. And I'm a healthier version of me too, and a stronger coach. And I get to come here and celebrate. I get to come here and share my story. I'm excited about that. And I hope you don't just hear my words, but feel them. It's been life-changing for me. I'm grateful and I look forward to coaching. And I also look forward to continuing, sharing my story, helping others and celebrating other people's successes as they go through their Optavia journey.
Well, Kim, I'd like to thank you. Dr. A's Habits of Health Transformational System is really a system that we must embrace and dive into if we want to see that long-term success. And
Absolutely.
that's the part that's going to help you change your thinking, and you're just going to be better forever. So next slide. We have more than just our Habits of Health system. We've got an amazing support community, and Sherry's got a great story here, and she's going to talk a little bit about the community that we have.
Well, welcome everyone. My name is Sherry Marks, and I'm so happy to be here, and I'm so happy that you are here with us. And thank you, Dr. Larry. Many years ago, after I got married and started having kids, pretty much one after the other, each pregnancy I would gain approximately 24 to 36 pounds, and I'd only lose 12. Like, what's the deal with that, right? So I joined a gym after like the third kid finally, and then again, I just lost 12 pounds. But I was in somewhat decent shape. And I said, you know what? I'm just going to be a toned up big girl the rest of my life. And every time I started losing weight, it would just like stop after a while. And, my back was still hurting. My feet was still hurting. I just try to, put the smile on the face with the gym clothes, and I'm still working there. And anytime someone in the gym would lose weight, I'd kind of ask them, how are you losing weight? And, one gal, she became a mailman. I'm like, fine, I'll become a mailman. Just give me anything that's going to work here. So I tried so many different things, like so many people out there. And I even did a boot camp, like hardcore, like 5 o'clock in the morning, working out like crazy. And then I found a program where eating 6 small meals a day. And I did do that as part of the boot camp. And I was eating small meals. And just got to be like, after a few months of doing that, it just got to be like, I can't do this anymore. I'm carrying like drumsticks and hard-boiled eggs in the car. There's got to be a better way. And I met a couple that seemingly I met, at a networking event, and they just seemed to be losing weight. Like, and I was like, what are you guys doing? And her husband, his doctor, had put him on this program, and he lost 70 pounds. He got all his medications. His wife lost 40 pounds, and they just kept going. Anyway, I didn't tell my husband. I ended up doing the program. I lost 50 pounds in, I don't know, like 4.5 months. And it was so easy and simple to stick to. And I just said, how is that possible? Like, it just felt like magic to me that something so easy and visible and just something I never thought that could happen my entire life. And here we are. This part that I'm speaking about, oh, that's cute. I find the community of Optavia is probably the main reason why I stuck with the program. Having so many beautiful, like-minded individual people. We're all there to help each other. We're supporting each other on our journeys, whether it's the weight loss, the mindset, or our personal victories. We have virtual and weekly support calls, habits of health videos, and the weekly support calls are based on various topics relating to our health journey, and they're all recorded. So they're available for you whenever you have you have time to like listen back. Like, I take trips to the mountains. I listen to it in the car on the car rides. And topics can include any of the elements from our life book, as Kimberly was talking about. Or maybe it's an upcoming holiday season that's like so hard. Like, we have a lot of holidays coming up, and how do we deal with it, right? Maybe even eating out, right? Everyone shares their best practices, helpful tips and recipes, and you really feel so much part of a group of others, and we're all sharing the goal of creating health in our lives. There's even a nutrition support hotline available via phone or email with certified dietitians and certified personal trainers. They're literally standing by, waiting for our phone calls to assist in any way possible with our dietary needs, medical advice to a certain degree, and also questions relating to exercise. I've learned so much from contacting them, and I know you will too. And thank you, Dr. Larry.
Well,
And everyone
thank you,
coming.
Sherry. Really, really appreciate your story. And, you know, community is where it's at. I will tell you that the people I've met in Optavia are some of the most amazing people on the planet. And I look forward to spending time with them at events and just getting together with them outside of Optavia. They're just amazing people. So next, we're going to move to a dear friend of mine, David Spiegelman. David's got an incredible story and somewhat funny at times, but he's also going to talk about one of the tools that we use as we help people create healthy habits with regard to eating. David, take it away, please.
Okay, well, all right. So hi, I'm David Spiegelman, and I'll tell you a little bit about myself. Okay, so back when I first got married, I was thin. I wasn't healthy, but I was thin. And my wife and I had 5 children over the years. And as Sherry, mentioned, every time we were expecting, I gained weight. You know how it is. So by 2011, I looked like that picture in the, in the middle there. And as I grew, I started noticing that I had some issues. I snored like a freight train, which did not make my wife very happy. And because of all that snoring, I woke up almost every morning with a blinding headache. Always had to take my morning dose of vitamin I, that's vitamin ibuprofen. And I also had chronic lower back pain, knee pain, and my energy was really low. Well, one day in 2011, my wife and I looked at each other and decided that we were both going to try to lose some weight. We'd had this friend who'd lost about 70 pounds on some program and was now a coach. And my wife, Stacy, who's smarter than me, decided, I'm going to do what she's doing. Me, I didn't need a program. I could figure this out on my own. And so it was that after 3 months, my wife was down a good amount of weight and I was not. So about that time, our friend, the coach, had told Stacy that she was going to go to the national convention for the company, which was not too far away, and invited her to come. And I came along for the weekend. And by the time the weekend was over, Stacy had decided that she wanted to become a coach, and I decided to become her first client. I went on the program and I started to lose weight. And after several months, I'd lost 50 pounds, eventually losing a total of 65, which I've mostly kept off since then. One morning, I woke up and Stacy said, you know what? I just realized you don't snore anymore. And she was right. But I also noticed that I wasn't still waking up with headaches, and my back stopped hurting, and my knee, well, that still hurt a bit, but not as much. And I had more energy, and I started to feel good. Sorry, I'm also driving here, so all right. So one of the things that really made this work for me was the fueling system. See, with the Optavia fuelings and the 5-in-1 plan, I really didn't have to count any calories or macronutrients. Practically the only things I had to count were the number of fuelings I ate and how many ounces of water I drank. It made it super easy for me to follow. And one of the big things that had always caused me problems before was having to figure out what I could and couldn't eat or doing meal prep. With this, I didn't have to do much of that. The program is really simple. You pick out the fuelings you want, 5 per day, which you eat every 2 to 3 hours, plus your lean and green meal, which the habits of health system you heard about helps you learn how to do. And that's about it. Everything else is done for you. Each fueling is nutrient dense and carbon controlled. They're packed with 11 grams of protein, fiber, and 24 vitamins and minerals right in the fuelings, so there's no supplements needed. And they even have probiotics and prebiotics to help with digestive health. The fuelings are all interchangeable. There's no, this is what you must have for breakfast kind of rigidity to it. If you want chicken soup for breakfast, knock yourself out. Not literally, that would be bad. There are different types of fuelings with different flavor profiles, so it's easy to find something you like. And I really love the taste of a lot of the fuelings even now. I still like to wake up in the morning and have a healthy brownie with my coffee. Let me switch here. The program is really affordable too. Look, most Americans spend somewhere between $15 to $20 a day on food between meals and snacks, maybe even more now. This program is designed to be right in that range, with the average month for the program coming to somewhere between $430 to $460, depending on the program and the fuelings you choose. And the fuelings are clean labeled, which means they're healthy and free from artificial additives and preservatives. So they taste good and they're good for you and they're affordable. What could be bad? That's my story. I'm sticking with it. Thanks for being here. And now back to you, Larry.
Thank you, David. Really, really appreciate you sharing, and I love your story. I have somebody who's got an amazing story here who's going to wrap us up and take us home tonight. Denise Hay, if you could please share, we really, really would love hearing you.
Oh, thank you. I would love to share. Oh my gosh, I am so inspired by what I heard tonight from all of you, and I know you, and it never gets old to me. So yes, I'm Denise Hay. I'm a certified coach, and I'm happy, I'm smiling right now, but I'll tell you, if you had seen me back in the winter of 2020, you would not have seen this person sitting here. I was in so much pain. It was the start of the pandemic. You can see my picture there in the middle. I was coming in at 213, 215 on weight. I was in so much pain. I could not move around. And I was faced with so much emotionally, physically, and financially, because the business that I had was so impacted through COVID that I basically lost it at the time. And so I was just at a loss. And I had a friend who became my coach. And like Tom said, which I loved, you get a coach and you get a friend, or vice versa. And I had a wonderful friend who was an Optavia coach, and she kept reaching out to me. And I was so very resistant, you see, because I had tried, I had failed, I had tried, I had failed. So I just I didn't want to hear it anymore. I just didn't want to hear it. But finally, the pain had gotten so great that I waved the white flag and I reached out to her, because I wanted that energy, that joy, that life, that vibrancy. I wanted that. That really pulled me in. And so in April of 2020, I started the program. By the fall, I had lost over 73 pounds. I got my health back. I got my energy back. And also at the same time, my husband, he decided to join me, and he needed it as well. And he truly got his life back. He lost about 65 pounds. So what can I say about this amazing program? I feel like we age in reverse when we are on our Optavia program. It had to be easy for me. I did not have the brain space to do my meals, to figure things out, to prep it up. I really needed simplicity. I needed structure, nutrition, and I needed a community. And I can tell you that this is what Optavia brought to this girl at a time in her life when she really, really needed it. So I'm so thrilled to be here tonight and bring us home and tell you how you can get started. And maybe we can pop to the next slide. It is so simple. Like I said, I need it simple. Very easily you connect to the wonderful person who thought of you and invited you tonight. You know, when my friend invited me to take a look and she began to ask some questions, I had no idea what was going on. I just know I needed help. So connect with the person who invited you. What we do is we do what we refer to it as a health assessment. And to me, it's like a chat where your coach gets to know you, make sure that this program is going to be a fit. They're going to ask some questions. Nothing's intrusive at all, but it really gives your coach a great idea as to what program is going to work best for you. You order your kit, and we refer to what you're seeing there as your kit. And our company is so cutting edge that your kit arrives very soon. We always say allow 5 days, but lately I can tell you that the kits have been rolling in like within 2 here where I'm situated in Delaware. So that is wonderful, because when we make that decision, we're ready to go. We are ready to start that journey. And everything comes in that kit that you need to get going. All the guesswork is out, and as Dr. Anderson says, goof proof. So you're going to get off on the right foot. Your coach is going to guide you every step of the way, and you are going to see results. You don't have to believe it, because we know it. It's predictable. And I just want to touch on the coaching piece, because as I shared in April of 2020, when I was just a lost lamb, everything was collapsing in my world. I knew about the coaching opportunity. I didn't really understand it, but I was like, I want to know more about this. And then people were starting to see me change and they wanted to know what was going on. I decided to become a coach for a couple of reasons. It was an amazing way for me to stay accountable. I didn't want to go back to where I was. I wanted to keep my head in that game. I wanted to have that growth mindset going on, and I wanted to share it and pay it forward, because as hopeful as I felt, I know I wasn't alone. And so health coaching became a great vehicle for me. It provided income, which of course I needed at that particular time, and it provided the accountability. Health coaching is one of the smartest, most lucrative choices for a career that you can make. It is part of a big $4 trillion industry. And our company has been recognized by Forbes as being one of the fastest growing companies, one of the top 100. And we continue to get tremendous accolades because we have such a high standard and so ethical and so much integrity. So I would like to just invite all of you to circle back with the person that invited you tonight and ask some questions, do that health assessment, think about coaching. You know, I love this little kit. Well, I like things packaged up. That's another little thing about me. But look at our coaching kit. This is what I received when I said, okay, I'm going to jump in. I want to know more. I got all of the support from amazing mentors, those here on the call tonight, Dr. Larry, Whitney Kell. Oh my gosh, they go back to when they were pioneers in the company. The reward, you get rewarded for helping others, and for what? Oh my goodness, the cost of a coaching kit is less than, I don't know, going to get, when I was in Philadelphia, it was less than going to get my hair cut and colored. So, you know, you can really look at things a million different ways, but at the end of the day, if you want to be part of something that is going to blow your mind and get you healthy, you might want to consider health coaching. So as we begin to wrap up, I'm going to leave it there for you to ponder, and I hope I planted a little seed. But as we begin to wrap it up, we do, and I think we have one more slide maybe. Yep, there it is. I want to take a moment to just really congratulate and celebrate you for taking a breath, investing in your health, because that's what you did tonight, and for joining us. And reach out to the person who invited you to this event. The little QR code there, we have a little door prize, fun little giveaway. And we want to make sure that everybody who's on the call tonight has an opportunity to be registered for that. And so if you scan that, it's going to take you to a real quick little form so that we can get you into the drawing. So I love drawings. I love fun things like that. So make sure you do that. We're going to leave it up there. And then jot down our next Healthy Living Live is set for October 13. You see the times. It's going to be posted through Facebook again. Invite your friends, invite your family, because we know, we have eyes. When we're out and about, we know people need what we've offered tonight. So I want to leave you with that. I'm going to kick it back over to Larry. Thank you so much again. It's been wonderful to be with all of you. And I hope you are as inspired as I am from listening to these amazing coaches that went before me. Hey, Larry.
Well, Denise, thank you so much. Really, really appreciate your sharing and wrapping it up for us. You know, tonight is all about just sharing from our heart, sharing our stories of transformation, and letting people know that if you're ready to make a change, there's a whole bunch of people that are just ready to help you every step of the way. I'd like to end the recording right now at this point. So I'm going to stop the recording.